We'll get started in like a minute, everybody. Just wait for everybody to hop on. Any latecomers? All right, y'all. I think we'll get started. How we all doing?
Pretty decent.
Pretty decent? That's awesome. Happy Friday. We kind of know who the president's going to be, but not officially yet, it looks like. I kind of had CNN on, and I kind of shut it off for this Zoom meeting because I know I'll get distracted if I see something bizarre that pops up. So, but I didn't really have anything to show you today. I just kind of wanted to talk about the live event and just kind of moving forward with the course. I may do a share screen in a little bit just to show you just kind of the weeks ahead. But first off, nice round of applause for you all on this live event coverage. Like wicked stuff. I was smiling. I was like, had like good smiles on my face when I was looking at your tweets for most of the evening. Had to make myself an extra cup of coffee to keep it going. In the honor of transparency, I think I conked out about the last time I looked at the clock, it was 20 after 12. And then I fell asleep on the couch and I woke up and it was like 20 after 5. So if you can call that sleep, I guess, 4.5 hours. But yeah, that's the last, I think 12:20 was when I conked out. But I see just from the tweets that most of you went well after that. So I marked the assignments, both the tweets and the stories that you did. But I just want to hear just a general, and you can be honest now because I marked it, so I can't go back, but just tell me what you thought of just the assignment and actually covering it. I obviously in a different way, like I would have loved it for you to actually be out there, at a bar or a restaurant or something, or a bar and grill, because that's what I did 4 years ago with the group at Sheridan. They actually went out and covered it like at various places within the community. But tell me what you thought about covering it this way and just what your general thoughts were of the assignment. We'll talk about the election in a second, but what about the assignment? Just holler in if you'd like. Yeah, go ahead, Jenna.
I was very tired. But it was fun, but also because I worked with Savannah, so we were like on FaceTime for the whole like 4 hours or something after I got back from work, and like it was 9:30 and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go to sleep. But I know I think I was like I was kind of afraid to be like reiterating stuff that everybody already knew. Like when I was tweeting, like I know you saw probably most of my tweets where I was just kind of updating on the electoral college votes because that was the one thing I could see on my screen because I had family in the background and I had, focusing on my computer and also on my phone because Savannah was saying stuff and I was like kind of like everywhere. So I was kind of like afraid that wouldn't exactly count.
No, it totally counted. And I mean, that was the one main thing to be mindful of was the electoral college votes, right? I mean, that was like, I think those were the biggest updates from the evening, right? I mean, if we weren't going to know who won, then that was the next update, right? Was just to see the electoral college votes coming in. So, and you were all doing that. It wasn't just you, Jenna. You were all doing that, and I wasn't really taking into account, like if Michael put out a tweet and then you put out a tweet and it was the same. Like that never crossed my mind because I knew you were kind of all operating sort of, unless you were with a partner, which you were all kind of working separate from each other, right? So I mean, if when, when Joe Biden won New York, like, I knew I was going to see 3 or 4 tweets that were essentially saying the same thing. So I didn't mind that. But what I was looking for was like effectively you all getting the right updates, right? And like tweeting out the right updates, which you all were. Like like there was never a time where I looked and said, oh, like, why would you tweet that out? Or, oh, I think a couple of times I sent direct messages just to say, hey, I don't think that's the case. Maybe you're reading it wrong, because I'm mindful that, like, I don't even fully understand the U.S. election system. So, and I've been covering politics just for a while now, and I didn't fully expect you all to. And a couple of times I sent you direct messages saying, hey, FYI, I don't think that's the case here. Like, I think, with some of you, like, I know you were, a couple of you in your tweets and even your story said projected to win or projected to lose. Like, you have to be very careful with that term, because projected, especially in our day and age, means you're pretty much saying it's confirmed, right? As opposed to looking at a screen and saying, this person's got a lead and there's like 90% of the vote that's come in, let's project him the winner. Like, you can't do that, right? So those are just some of the things that I kind of sent messages to. But again, those were little things that were totally fixed afterwards. So yeah, no issue, Jenna. Like, no issue at all from, sending out the same tweets. That's for sure.
Good.
Anybody else? Yeah, Michael.
It's in 2 ways. Physically, I was exhausted. Like towards the end. At the beginning, I was fine. I was like, okay, as long as I do my tweets and the minimum tweets, and I think I ended up eventually ended up doing like about 40 tweets.
you had a few, but that's good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and so I know I was going to be fine. And then I know closer to, it was like 10:30, I sent you an email, Louis, about say I don't think I'm going to do the required piece until the morning, because you don't know what the result.
Mm-hmm.
So thank goodness that you gave me the okay to give the extension. But I kind of feel as the morning went along, early morning, I decided to say, okay, I'm going to make the piece as is, and I recorded on my phone the speech from Biden and that former ambassador in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just waiting. I was thinking of doing the Trump speech, record the Trump speech, and then do the piece. But I was just like, what Trump is, who Trump likes to do. He likes to promote his appearance as long as he can. And I was getting to a point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
I was running on fumes, so I decided to write it as is. And as soon as his speech, I submitted it, President Trump came in, and then I was out of gas.
Yeah.
And I decided to shut everything off. And I had a good few hours, about 5 hours sleep, and I was like a zombie. I was like semi-lethargic, got to a point, because I am diabetic. I need to get something to drink and put something more sugar intake in me. So yeah, it turned out to be a great thing. It was a great assignment. It's just physically wore down as it went out doing it overnight.
Yeah, it's pretty taxing, right? And I mean, that's why I think part of the whole, teacher-student, prof-student relationship, right, is kind of recognizing from past experiences, what works and what doesn't work. And, I know that in the past, because it's been the same in terms of the coverage, it's gone into the evening, and I've heard those, those challenges from students, right? Where it's I was really tired and sorry if this, story doesn't seem to work, but I'm just, they're very googly eyed. And before, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I was like, nope, you got to get the story in. This is journalism. It's breaking news. I don't care if you can't stand, write the story. Right. And obviously we've all, I think, evolved and come a long way since then. And, I've kind of realized, especially with something like this where, you're kind of tweeting at the same time, and I'm taking into account some of you are working on your own, right? And it's late in the evening, when you're kind of not used to, you know, really putting a brain to something that you have to send in, right? I mean, it's late, and our brains, most of our brains are powered to kind of start to shut down at that time. So I was cognizant of all this stuff, Michael. So that's why I kind of left that option open. I did the same thing last year with the third years for the municipal election. I basically said, if you're tired, just go to sleep. Go to sleep. Send it to me in the morning. We'll just focus on the tweets for tonight. And it was, I think, the same. I think I had in this class there were 3 or 4 of you that filed it in the morning, and it was the same with the group last year. It was a smaller group, so I think there were 2 of them that did it. But I'm glad that if you see the opportunity to take advantage, and you are tired and you think that the product will be better in the morning, then just go for it. So I'm glad you utilize that.
Sorry, I don't.
Yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I was gonna say I really enjoyed the assignment. Lucas Festivo and I worked together, and it got to the point where at first we were kind of nervous and we were like working our way up to it. We're like, it's fine. But then later in the night, it just became like a game almost, as in like, oh my God, he got it. Like we were like freaking out anytime it turned blue, and then anytime I got, not to get political, anytime it turned red, we got sad. And it was just such a funny, like, give me my phone, I have to take a picture. And it was just honestly, like looking back, it was funny. In the moment, we were probably stressed and we were probably doing whatever, but I'm happy we did it because it also gave us a lot of like experience also too, working together and like collaborating with his tweets, and then the article that I did, like we kind of like split up the work that way.
Yeah.
And it was just fun going back and forth being like, does this sound good? And so it was nice to work together and like to get some help, which I really do appreciate. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad, and I kind of figured that, like, not all of you would be into covering the election or covering politics, but it's kind of one of those things, right? Like once you start doing it, I think, and like once you get over the, oh my God, he wants me to cover this, and I don't even like politics, and once you start getting into the the nitty gritty, it's kind of hard to stop, right? It's like Olivia said, it's kind of like a sporting match, right? Like you're watching it, and all of a sudden it's like a sport, right? You're like, you're kind of cheering, but you're not cheering. But when something happens, it's like a goal, and it's like, oh my God, like this is important. I got to tweet it out, and you're kind of like in the middle of it all. So it kind of grabs hold of you. I definitely got that sense from your tweets. So just a quick note from Brandon. I'm sure you've seen it. He sent it to the group, but his cat's having a coughing fit, so he wanted to type his response. So it was fun. I wasn't into politics really, and now I can't stop watching CNN to see who will win this, right? So yeah, I'm glad that that you all like had some joy in terms of covering the assignment. I know it was a little hectic. I'm mindful of that, but I think looking back, like, I mean, I certainly enjoyed looking at your tweets and kind of commenting here and there, and getting a chuckle out of certain things. And yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool, like seeing it. You kind of feel like you're a part of history, right? Like you're a part of history and you're covering it. So yeah, like I said, I wish we were in different circumstances where you could have been out there covering it, because I think that would have given you even more of a flavor of kind of what was happening, right? Like you'd get the cheers and the boos when things pop up on the screen, and you get to interview people. Like we have actually people for Democrats abroad. Like, so there's like an actual Democratic organization here in Canada, and it's actually based in Burlington. But what they would do under normal circumstances is kind of set up watch parties throughout the GTA, right? I'm sure there would have been one in Hamilton if things were normal. So anybody else, just thoughts in terms of covering this and writing about it?
Yeah, Louis, it was, I enjoyed it. It was nice to, I think I was going to watch it anyway, if I'm being honest, just because I'm kind of interested in politics like that. But no, it was fun, and it was kind of, you find kind of I liked finding the tidbits of information that, you know, maybe wasn't so prevalent. Like, you know, a lot of the stuff specifically, you know, a lot of states legalized marijuana, and, you know, even Portland, like, legalized on a vote, they legalized mushrooms and stuff. So it's like little stuff like that that's on ballots that don't, you know, obviously the big thing is the election, who's going to be president, but a lot of the smaller things like certain bills being passed and voted in, it was also a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that was good. And I kind of got that sense, Kyle, like from like your tweets and a couple of others, that it's like, oh, okay, like you know, these people know what they're talking about, right? Like they're not just reporting kind of the you know, kind of what's happening on the surface, right? Which was great. Like that was what I was looking for. But you know, getting into the nitty gritty for sure was something that was nice to see. And you know, you are looking for like different things, right? I guess like when I'm looking at things, like I kind of looking for like insightful kind of tweets, which, like I said, most of you, all of you were doing that. You know, kind of putting out tweets that kind of mattered and sort of told everybody what was going on, which was good. But yeah, your tweets, I think a lot of political insiders would have looked at your tweets and said, oh, like that's interesting, or, you know, or kind of commented on those. And the other thing I wanted to touch on for all of you, like I think I saw a couple of tweets, can't remember who sent that out, but like 16, 17, 18 retweets. Like that's awesome, right? Like that's like terrific. Like, did you find, like, let me ask, did you find you were getting some good engagement, like, on social, like on Twitter?
Yeah, like I got a few retweets and likes here and there, and it was just, you know, you kind of went, you know, specifically for me, like when I was looking at other people's tweets, you know, I'd comment on them and you get responses back, and you just kind of have a conversation, in which I've been on Twitter long enough where usually it ends up being like a big shouting match over politics most of the time. But it was nice to kind of have some sort of dialogue with just random people.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the great thing about covering it through social media, right? Is that you get like comments from other people, and you know, you kind of get engagement, and you get to build up sort of like a following of people. So that's pretty awesome. Just letting Samson in here.
Yeah, Louis, I had like someone, I don't know if you saw it, someone like random American like replied to me being like, basically like, you're wrong, even though I wasn't. So it was like kind of funny to have to reply and be just, okay, this is the fact, like, have a good night, whatever. So that was kind of different.
No, and you know what? And I did see that, Siobhan, and you know what? Like I was gonna like DM, but then I'm like, you know what? Like, let's see like how, like, if you can handle it, like, you know, I don't want to kind of be like this overarching, like, you know, guardian saying, you know, oh no, don't reply. Like you did the right thing, and I think you handled it totally fine. And it's like Kyle just alluded to, and like kind of you're saying, the worst thing you can do, and I see this every day with my job, right? The worst thing you can do is engage with people who, you know, just want you to engage. Like they're looking for a fight, right? And I think you all are smart enough to know the people that are just looking for a fight and just trolling and looking to cause trouble, as opposed to those who are just, you know, informatively disagreeing with you, or just offering an opinion saying, you know, I'll respectfully disagree with what you're saying, right? Because those people, I'll engage with them all day, right? But it's, you know, it's other people that, you know, you have to either ignore or just, you know, be cordial about it and politely kind of reply, which you did a good job of. So anybody else, any thoughts? Yeah, Jenna.
Another thought. It was very tough to not let your bias slip into anything you were saying. Because, like, on my personal Twitter, you can tell that I hate Donald Trump and I hate, you know, anything like that. But I had to, like, not always be obviously favoring Biden while I was tweeting, which was a little bit tough. Especially like the electoral college votes, I think were like the one thing that I was able to be like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna report on this, because then I can just say who has what, and I don't have to sound biased or anything. So yeah,
and it's tough. You have to kind of sometimes hide your biases no matter what, right? We all do it in the journalism world, because I mean, we all, you know, I'm hoping we all vote when it's time to vote. And, you know, we're obviously voting for a particular party and a particular person, but, you know, we shouldn't be showing that in our coverage unless we're columnists, unless we do work for, you know, an organization that sort of favors a certain party or whatever. But no, I thought you did a good job. And the ones that didn't, like the ones where I thought, you know, the tweet might have been a little bit too right-sided or too left-sided, I DM'd you and let you know, like, you know, just like kind of stay away from, you know, bias and just kind of report what's happening. But again, few and far between. Like, I think I had to do it once or twice. I can't remember, but once for sure, but that was it. So yeah, Michael.
And also, just to add what Jenna was saying, there was also, I made tweets, as you probably know, from Fox News to close, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, knowing that Fox News has like a reputation of being, for the most part, a Trump propaganda thing. That's that kind of reputation on media. So instead of me being biased, showing bias or anything, I just say I can't remember what the tweets. I think it went in my head. That's now gone out, but it's more like verification. Try to verify, because, you know, John Roberts is from Fox News, but he's also one of the more reputable names in all of journalism.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to balance, but you know, what I found over the course of the election, and I didn't see that it as a whole in the previous elections I have seen, is that a lot of the networks have different numbers, and they made two different projections to calls, and they had to come back, and it's tough to verify and keep on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
Showing bias.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely 100%. That's what the challenge is, right? Is you can't let the bias seep in, right? And we all do it, right? You know, CNN. I love CNN, but you know, we all know who they wanted to win this election, right? It was pretty easy to see through their coverage, right? But you know, we always. I think it's normal every time, once in a while, to let bias seep through, but you do have to kind of look at it and say, okay, like, how can I prevent that, right? Because, you know, we are supposed to strive for objectivity. At the end of the day, we are supposed to strive for objectivity and just report the facts. So I think for the most part, you all did that well. Judging, so I don't know if you all know this yet, but you'll have me next semester for Multimedia 2, which is advanced. I call it Multimedia 2. That's like kind of the colloquial name, but it's advanced multimedia production. So I take it, like, I mean, something like this, you'd be okay with covering something like this again, like something similar, maybe? Most of you? I'm going to assume silence means yes. Again, we're not going to, I kind of I've already looked ahead. I mean, we're not going to have any elections during like that. And I only have you for 7 weeks next semester. So there's not really a lot going on between January and February. There is the inauguration, whoever wins this thing. I mean, I think it's going to be Biden, but there would be the inauguration, which is, I think, January 20th. So maybe that's something we can look at covering. But yeah, leave that with me. And I think it's something that's, it's good. It's good training, and it's like, you know, it's fun. It was fun to watch, and I kind of got the sense from all of you were having fun with it too. At times stressed out and stressful, but fun, right? Moving ahead, and we won't be too much longer today, but because it is nice outside. I think it's like 19 degrees where I am, so in Oakville. But just moving ahead, today I did put in the assignments module your next assignment, which is a news curation assignment. There's a YouTube tutorial in there on how to do it. That's due next week, next Friday the 13th. Oh, I just realized that now. Huh. Next Friday at 3 p.m. Similar to the other assignments that I give you, it's due at that time by email. Does everybody know what news curation is? It's not a difficult thing, believe me. If you're intimidated by the term, can anybody let me know what it is? Before I just blurt out the answer. Okay, I'll just tell you what it is. It's basically when you are covering a news event and you're basically pulling in all types of social media to enhance your story or to enhance what the story you're trying to tell. So if you can imagine, like even the way you all covered the live event, it would be that. The only difference would be you'd be putting the story and your tweets together. And that's kind of what you're doing in this assignment, right? As opposed to them being separate. So that's due next week. It's in the assignments folder. There's a YouTube tutorial in there on how to use the program that we're using, which is called Wakelet, Wakelet, wakelet.com. So you'll have to set up an account with that. And there's a tutorial. And then as well, there's some assignments that my third years did last year using Wakelet. Same assignment, very similar assignment. And I included those assignments just because I wanted you to see them and kind of see how they covered their story. So you can basically, like, I'll let you look at the assignment, but you can pick any like topical news story and kind of do a news curation on it. Again, if you have any questions or anything like that, email me, let me know. If you need to Zoom call me, we'll set up a Zoom meeting and we can talk about it. I've had a couple of them with you already this semester. So after that, there will be the photo gallery assignment. That's your final assignment of the year. Let me just look at that. I mean, you all have access to this, but I will just let you know when it is due. So news curation next week. And your photo gallery assignment is due on December the 4th. Your photo gallery assignment. I haven't posted that one yet because I'm still thinking about how to assign that, because we're in obviously a stay at home unless you absolutely have to go out type of environment. So I kind of want to revise the assignment to kind of make it conducive to that, to you being able to kind of do it remotely or at home, but also giving you the option to go out if you'd like to. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, just when is the next project going to be like open for us? Because on my Canvas, it's not open yet.
Next project, like you mean like the next assignment, Lucas?
Yeah, the next assignment.
So it should be, if you go to my Canvas. So the next one is the assignment that's due next week, right? And that one is due on the 13th. I'm going into my Canvas as we're talking.
I think it's under modules.
Yeah, so it should be under assignments. But let me just grab it here. Just bear with me, guys. Okay, so I'm seeing it under news curation. Is anybody looking under assignments right now? Can anybody see it? It's called news curation assignment.
Yeah, like I see it, just doesn't give us like a description. Well, it doesn't give me a description of it. And even under modules, it just says what news curation is.
So there, if you go under assignments, do you see one that says news curation assignment, Lucas?
Yeah, I see it.
Can you click on it?
Yeah, I clicked on it and it just says no content.
Huh, that's weird. Is everybody else having that issue?
Yeah.
I have the same issue, yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, mine's not working either.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem.
So So you like, I just want to be clear. You're clicking. It's like Lucas said. You're clicking on it and it's saying no content.
It says no content.
Okay. Let me look into that. In the meantime, what I'll do, Lucas and the rest of you, I'll just send you the assignment in an email, and that way you'll have it just in case there's an issue that I'm not able to fix. But that's weird because it didn't do that with past assignments that I put in there.
Okay, I see what it is. We're going to like the assignments tab, like on the side with the modules and stuff. You have to go to the modules tab and then go to the assignments within the modules tab because you have them linked in there.
Yes, that's right. I do. But you know what? That's right. And I thought I actually put it into the assignments tab as well, but I'm seeing that too now. It just says no content. So you know what I'll do, everybody? I'll send an email out, just like on a weekend email looking ahead. I'll include the assignment in that. Actually, I'll do that before the end of the day today. And I'll also go into the assignment section and put in the re-add it, because I thought I did add it. Maybe I didn't save or something, but I'll do that as well. But you'll have it. Okay, you'll have it. I promise. Anything else? Anybody else? No, we're all good? Okay. Email me with any concerns. Like I said, this will probably be our last Zoom meeting for the semester. But don't let that stop you from, if you need to set up a Zoom meeting with me, you want to discuss some things, you know I'm around, right? I hope you know that about me by now. So we'll move forward on that. All right, everybody? Thanks a lot, and awesome work on the live event, and I look forward to the other assignments as well. Okay? Have a good weekend. Enjoy the weather. We'll talk soon. Bye, everybody.